Hello warriors! My advice today is please do have an organized brain and logical thinking. We have talked about the marking sheet and skill areas in the previous videos. In my next videos, I'm going to take each skill in a separate video to give you a chance to grasp it easily, inshallah. Today, I'm going to talk about the first skill in the skill areas, which is consultation or data gathering. So, how to conduct a strong consultation? We need to conduct 4 aspects: organized structure, logical way of thinking, doing relevant examination, running relevant investigations. Let's talk about one by one. So, organized structure. In almost all of the cases, you need to go through history, examination and investigation, diagnosis, and management. In some cases, you may skip some of them, like for example in psychiatry or talking with relatives, but almost of the cases you need to go through these. Remember, you have 2 halves. The first half is data gathering, history, examination, and investigations. It's for you to ask your questions. The second half, diagnosis and management, it's for the patient to ask his questions. In history taking, please do conduct organized questions. Ask your questions in an organized way, asking the present history questions, then past history questions, then lifestyle questions, then psychosocial history questions. Please avoid going back and forth in every group of questions. For example, asking some of the present history questions, then going to past history questions, then coming back to some present history questions in a haphazard way. Please avoid that. And remember, if the patient asks something, bring him back in a polite way to have an organized brain and organized thinking and organized structure. You can say, Mr. X, I will address that shortly if you don't mind. Coming back to whatever the point you in. Okay? Doing the relevant examination and running the relevant investigations, and we will talk about that shortly. Logical way of thinking. How to do this? You have 2 ways, either thinking about effectiveness of the questions on the management or thinking about relevancy. So what does that mean? In thinking about effectiveness, ask yourself before asking any question, will that question affect the management of the situation? So please do ask. If the question will not affect the management, please do not ask. Please do not waste your time. In thinking about relevancy, simply we have relevant questions and irrelevant questions. Regarding the relevant questions, you can divide them to important relevant and non-important relevant. Please try to avoid non-important relevant and irrelevant questions as much as you can. To elaborate more, as an example, in acute symptoms, lifestyle questions and psychosocial questions are non-important or even irrelevant. So please do not ask them in acute symptoms. And please remember, every rule has an exception. Like in acute back pain, you are suspecting a disc prolapse, so you need to ask about his job to give him an advice to avoid that or to change his job. You may need also to give him a sick note. So every rule has an exception. On the other hand, in chronic symptoms, psychosocial and lifestyle questions are important questions. So please do ask them. Another example, in counseling stations in which the patient is already diagnosed, please do not waste your time in exploring the first presentation of the patient. It is irrelevant here. Please avoid that. Except if the patient is coming with new symptom, okay? And so on. I hope it's clear. Then, doing the relevant examination, take observations and verbalize the local examination, and please specify what you will examine exactly in the station. Okay? Running relevant investigations, in brackets, basic investigations. Do the very basic investigations like bloods, sputum, urine, stool, ECG, X-ray, and please avoid mentioning the investigations done by specialists. Unless the patient asks, do verbalize what investigations you will run and why you want to run them. That's how you can conduct a perfect or strong consultation. Again, please avoid asking every and anything. Go through your consultation or data gathering in an organized way, with organized structure, with organized questions and logical way of thinking, by asking the important relevant questions. Okay? Finally, if you want to inquire about my one-to-one mocks, please join my WhatsApp group. If you want to benefit from my daily useful posts, please join my Facebook group. These are the QR codes, and you will find the links of the groups in the video description. Please like so that I know it was beneficial to you, and share to help others. Thank you so much, doctors, and see you in the next video.